Okay, we're live streaming. We're getting ready to do a 4-leaf clover art project. Some of you probably are aware of how to do something like this. Marcella May, say hi to the camera.
Hi.
Okay, she's going to be my student demonstrator. And hopefully you guys can see this okay. We're using makeshift supplies to prop up my stuff here. So I'll explain what we had to do to prep. We had to, of course, draw a 4-leaf clover to the best of our ability. We did that on just a regular piece of paper. In order to make it symmetrical, what I did was I folded the paper in half, drew one side, folded it, put it up to the window, and then used that to trace the other side. Just a little art trick there. I got some Elmer's glue in a bowl that I don't really care about and watered it down a little. I put about half of a glue bottle in the bowl and put in maybe about a 1/4 cup of water and stirred it really well because I didn't want it super thick, but just thick enough that it's going to stick to yarn. All we had at home was parchment paper, so I ripped off a few sheets of that would totally cover our regular drawing paper. Typically I would use wax paper for this, but this is all I had at home, so hopefully it works just as well. The idea is you don't want the gluey yarn to stick to your project. You want it to come off when it's dry. You need yarn. We happen to have a boatload of yarn at home, so we had several different colors of green. Marcella's using the brighter green and I'm using the lighter green. Marcella, you want to show them how you cut your yarn?
All you do is you take a piece of string and you put it here and you put it to your elbow.
Yeah, good job.
And
Being careful not to cut yourself with scissors, of course. So you want it about as long as your hand to your elbow, and this is going to keep you from tangling up your yarn too bad, and also giving you enough yarn to start adding it to your clover. So I stirred my glue with a popsicle stick. You can use anything that you don't really care about getting glue on. So, you know, throw away spoon, whatever. So the idea behind this project is, I'm sorry I don't have an example, we're kind of just flying off the cuff, but you're trying to fill in your entire shape with your gluey yarn, and then you also want your yarn to make sure that it's touching however you lay it out. That way it all sticks together. You guys have probably seen this before if you're into any sort of Pinteresting or crafting. You can also do this on balloons. You don't necessarily have to do it on a flat surface or anything that gluey yarn won't stick to. You can do this sort of main idea to create an overall yarn shape. So Marcella, you ready? Get like a piece that you want to use. And what you're going to do, this is the messy part, so it will be a messy project. So prepare for that. Do it in a space where you don't mind dripping glue that you can clean off later. So what you have to do, you ready? You're going to dip it in the glue. Make sure it gets all covered by the yarn. And then you squeegee off the extra. Ooh. There you go, babe. Good job. Get it all in there. Make sure it all gets covered up. Yep. Good job. Yep, and then you wipe off the extra with one hand. So hold it with one hand and then you squeegee off the extra. There you go. Good job. By the way, Marcella is 5 and she has really good hand-eye coordination, but it just kind of shows you what you can do with a 5-year-old or older with this project. Okay, then you start outlining your whatever you decide to draw. You don't have to do a 4-leaf clover if you're doing this later. You just try and follow the same shape, which is tricky when you have sticky fingers. There you go, babe. Good job. It doesn't have to be perfect. You're just kind of following along. It's a little easier with something round like a ball or pumpkin. We're doing a little trickier shape today. Good job. You don't have to follow the bumps if you don't want to. Perfect. Then you do it again. You ready? Get in our yarn. Dip it in your glue. Get it nice and gluey. Ooh. Squeegee off the extra. And you keep going with your shape. go on the other side. Now we probably won't live stream the whole process because it'll probably take us, well, maybe at least a good half an hour, if more, not more, to get the whole thing filled in. I'll show you how you do the middle. You don't just do the outer edge. You kind of start tangling it in the middle once you get your outline done. There you go, babe. Good job. You can just let it fall in the middle. There you go. Keep going. Get another piece. This is why we pre-cut lots of yarn, because you don't want to have to cut more yarn with sticky fingers. So it's good to get a lot of cut first before you do this. Here, you can move it a little closer to you. I can lean over farther. Probably could have left out the stem. We probably could have just done the clover part, but that's okay.
I'm gonna do the stem.
Okay, go for it. I'm just kind of adjusting my yarn. I'm sorry I can't see if anyone's commenting because we have my phone pipe cleaner onto one of my baskets. So it's kind of stuck where it is at the moment. One of these days I'll actually buy like a professional stand if I want to continue doing videos. But for now it works for while we're just hanging out at home. Nice, Marcella. Keep going. We're going to at least keep going until we run out of yarn, and then we might take a little break, wash our hands.
Cut some more.
Yes. So I'm going to show you how you do the middle since I got mine kind of sort of outlined. Hold on, I'm going to fix this a little bit.
Jackie Akers wants to know if it's wax paper or parchment paper.
Ah, thank you. My mother-in-law Billy Jo is here working. So I am using parchment paper right now, which I'm assuming is going to work just as good as wax paper, but if you have wax paper, I would suggest using that instead of parchment. I know it's going to come off better with the wax for sure. But I'm thinking parchment's going to work similar. We'll see when it dries. It'll be an experiment for us at home. We didn't have any wax paper, and I wasn't about to run the risk of running to the store to go get wax paper.
Okay, so
all right, Marcella.
Dripping everywhere.
It's okay. We can clean that up. So try and keep your hands over the table and not on the floor. We're doing this on a hardwood floor, so it's not going to be a big deal if we drip glue on the floor, but we'll try and prevent mess. Okay, get some more yarn. I'm going to show you how to do the middle. Good job outlining yours. That looks awesome. So now we got the hard part done. Now we just have to lay our yarn, kind of going zigzaggedy curly in the middle, and make sure our yarn is touching, and just keep laying it on the inside. We might end up needing more glue. Squeegee. That's so satisfying. Ooh. And you don't have to be super careful with this as long as it's landing in the middle and crisscrossing on itself. You're doing pretty good. And if you're one of my art teacher friends and you've done stuff like this before and have suggestions, please feel free to comment. Especially if you know I'm doing something that might not work out. Because I'm not an expert on this stuff either. I have done projects like this before in the past, but I've mostly done the cups and balloons. I haven't done a lot of the flat work. Oh, I'm splattering glue on myself.
This is very tricky, not getting glue everywhere.
You're doing a good job though, babe. Make sure it touches the sides of your project too. You don't want it just in the middle because it needs to stick to your outline. Good job.
So weird.
Isn't it fun squeezing the glue off?
Yeah. Kind of yucky too.
A little bit. We might run out of glue before we run out of yarn. Might have to get a refill here a little bit. Like I said, I used about half a bottle of a regular bottle of glue, Elmer's glue, and about a quarter cup of water. I didn't measure, I just kind of poured it in until it looked like it was a little bit soupier and not as gooey. So it's a little easier to work with.
You actually have to try to not get it out of the lines, because then it will look pretty bad.
Well, then it wouldn't look like a 4-leaf clover, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, just look like a pile of yarn. You're doing a good job, babe.
Connie says, good job, Marcella. You and your mom are so fun. Love you too.
Thank you, guys. Getting low on the glue. We'll keep going until we run out of glue, and then maybe we'll be done with the video for now. And we'll show you guys, we'll post a picture of the end result. We'll probably add a little bit of glitter to it, just because I have glitter, and why not?
It's fun to add glitter, because then you can make it prettier.
You think so? Think
And
glitter enhances the projects?
Yeah, not like just like yarn.
Oh.
You need something with it, so you don't like just have something on there. You need to add something.
Oh, you think so?
Lacey also says, good job, Marcella and Kim.
Oh, thank you, Lacey.
Oh, hey. It doesn't care if you get glue on another one, because then you'll just use that one in the glue too.
That's true. Very wise. And if you have to stop in the middle of this project and come back to it later, it's okay, because you can just keep adding to it. So if your kids lose their attention span, or if you need to refill glue or get more yarn and you need to let it dry for a little while, it's not going to be a big deal. You can
But
come
you
back
do
and add
need
more.
someone to help you
You think so?
if you want them to.
That's true. It's good to ask for help when you need help, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. The more you add, the better it's going to stay together. So you can kind of use that advice to your own discretion.
I'm trying to not.
Make sure it's touching the sides a little bit, babies, because that's going to help keep it together. There you go. Let me move this so I can see what you're doing. Nice.
We need more glue.
I know. We're going to have to stop here probably after the next couple pieces. Wash our hands, do a glue refill, and then we'll post our end result later on.
Yeah.
But I appreciate you guys if you decide to post or join us in our videos.
Oh my goodness, I messed up my outside.
It's okay, just fix it. You got it?
Yeah.
Good job. It's my first live stream ever, so I'll probably keep doing this if you guys enjoy it or find it useful while we're all in quarantine. Need some sort of help and entertainment.
More glue, please.
Do I have enough for my piece? Nope, looks like we need a refill. So we're all in this together. If you guys have any questions or advice or anything, please feel free to comment.
Do you have a finger that has no glue?
My pinky. Yeah, I can get that. All right, thanks guys. I'll see you later and we'll show you what our finished clovers look like.